This is, in my opinion, the best sub $20 earphones, period. For now. Okay, so Moondrop always had a foot in this price range, but they tend to lose them a couple of times within the span of months or maybe even years, but then they just get it back. The sub $20, sub 1,000 pesos, well built, well respected, and Clinical approved Moondrop Chu 2s might let them hold on to that title of best $20 IEMs for more than a couple of months. Well, it has been a couple of months since these were released, but yeah, more months. Maybe. Okay, so starting it off with the unboxing experience, well, this is the box in the back. You're already greeted with the anime girl, as you could see. Typical Moondrop things. Actually, typical IEM things, I suppose, because it's not just Moondrop who's doing these types of boxes anymore. Nevertheless, upon opening this package, it's going to be a bit heartbreaking because even if you don't like anime, the art still looks fire, but this pull tab sucks, so you gotta be careful or you might ruin it like how I did, just like this. Okay, so first of all, this smells terrible the moment you open it up. It does get better after a few weeks or days, but getting into the contents itself, you're immediately greeted with the IEMs themselves enclosed in a very nice EVA foam, very protected, very shockproof, I guess. In any case, more into that later. Then another box that contains the full leather case with the cables, ear tips, more anime women and paperwork, and a warranty card inside. The case is basically a glorified pouch. It has some felt inside to prevent scratches. Not the best, but comparing it to what typical $20 IEMs come with, if it comes with it at all, this is actually going to be decent value. Okay, so moving forward, the cables are a removable 2-pin 0.78mm cables, which are decent. Not the best, but I've seen worse. The silver shiny finish won't be for everyone, and the housing layer for the cable itself is like the Legacy 2's housing, so I would assume that these will eventually yellow over time. You should also take note that these tangles very easily even when compared to something like the 7Hz X-Critical SoundNote 02, and those have bad cables, so that's saying something. In addition to that, it's even more annoying when you use this when commuting or walking because you can't just pull them out and wear them. There's always a 50-50 chance that you will get these out of the case and it'll just be untangled or tangled. It's always going to be a gamble. For the silicone tips, it comes with 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. These are typical of earphones in general, so nothing special there. In any case, I rate this at a 2.25 out of 5 for packaging and accessories. The cable material and the fact that it tangles easily is what killed this segment, not to mention the ear tips being limited compared to what other modern $20 IEMs like the Wan'er 2 or the 02 can come with. Now, for the build, shape, and the comfort. Alright, so this comes with a single dynamic driver with an 18 ohm impedance. The build is described as alloy cast, which essentially just translates to aluminum, or maybe it's a high density plastic. I really don't know, but it does have that premium heft without feeling uncomfortably heavy. On the paint side of things, these come with a matte black finish, with the nozzle being a removable and replaceable brass nozzle that's pretty thick and definitely causes the tips to actually not go in easy. Whoa, that was easy. What? Huh? Okay, maybe it's just the technique. But going back to the finishing, again, this is nice, but it does have a similar finish to the first Arius, where I can't tell for certain now that this won't chip like the first Arius, but it is something to take note of. The shape is this pill-like shape with added height for the cables, so smaller or narrow ears like mine might feel discomfort with this shape. I know I have discomfort with them after around 2 hours on my left ear, but it's not too bad because it's actually rounded. I mean, you can see it right over there. It's not as bad as the Hexus in terms of how big it is, but it does still touch a lot of things. By the way, I explicitly said that I felt discomfort again on my left ears, only because I can wear this for an entire day on my right ear and never feel any sort of discomfort. Okay, so what this basically means is that our ears are very different, so take my observations in the shape with a grain of salt, as I found discrepancies in comfort even on my ears. This seal is also mostly dependent on the tip size, but because of its shape, it's not going to be as good as ear-shaped IEMs present like now, like the Wan'er 2, solely because there's not an extra layer of material that's actually covering your ears, similar to the hexes, as you can see here. Overall, a 3 out of 5. I can't give it a higher score solely due to the shape, which may be a hit or miss, plus how brass is with oxidation, which means that you must take care of these and provide more care of these than a typical IEM, or at least do what I do and put some silica balls in the case where you store them to prevent from humidity buildups. Okay, so before we continue, if you are enjoying the video so far, please tell me what you think about the Chu 2s in the comments, and maybe drop a subscribe as well while you're at it. Anyway, in terms of tonality, which again is subjective, I find these to be interesting. The Chu 2s wandered away from the tuning that the original Chus had, where it used to lean more towards a neutral tuning. Now it's a V-shaped tuning that sounds balanced, which really appeals to me due to how they lie in the borderline of fun and boring without leaning too much on either side, while still having the technical capabilities I look for when gaming or when critical listening. More into that later. Regardless, I would say that the treble nicely complements the bass response in general, so nothing feels too much. I also find them to be mostly fun when I listen to songs like pop or hip-hop like Eminem's Till I Collapse, and appropriate when I listen to more classical songs or even rock songs like Def Leppard's Put Sugar on Me. Alright, so bass is decent where it can have some sort of like drop off in the mid-bass region. It comes off as not too punchy but precise in terms of execution, so I like it, except when I commute with these, as the bass tend to either get drowned or get muddied up by stuff like engine noises. Okay, so in terms of the lower mids to the upper mids, it follows the Harman preference, so it has a gradual increase from mid to upper mids, then treble drops off in the 6K range with emphasis on the 12K air range before continuing the roll off. This essentially translates to the highs of the Chu 2 sounding spicy, can come off as a bit shouty, and may introduce sibilance to some people. Me personally, I don't find any sort of discomfort with them. I find the highs to be cleared, detailed, and quite well executed. Mids are also neutral sounding, so they don't feel recessed or too forward, which is good, as there's not too much coloration. The bass is deep and punchy enough to my preferences, where I describe them to be just enough to be versatile in most use cases. I'd give this a 4 out of 5 in terms of tonality because it sounds very clean and refined, but the bass comes off as muddy and commutes, and the highs can be potentially harsh to some people. Nevertheless, this is one of the best IEMs for me due to their versatility in terms of tonality. Now, on the technicals. The technical capabilities of this IEM is good, like really good, especially for the price. Starting it off with the soundstage, it's still within that typical IEM soundstage, but it's not as intimate as most IEMs within this price range. Sound separation, I would say, can come close to something like the 2-tier hexes, where you could hear individual instruments in most tracks, even on the busier parts. Speed is typical of a single driver IEM, where it isn't as snappy and precise, but because of the tuning, it sounds natural and can handle more complex arrangements better than most IEMs within this price bracket. What really sets this apart for me are both the imaging and the detail retrieval. I find that the details on this thing goes toe-to-toe with the capabilities of the first REs, where I would say that it can go above it in some tracks. Now, in terms of imaging on this IEM, when it comes to songs, this essentially translates to you being able to tell where individual instruments are placed. In games like Valorant, where you typically have horizontal sound cues, it's not wall hacks per se, but it can compete with my hexes and my legacy 2s in that regard. And in games like Rainbow Six Siege, you have some vertical sound cues, but they fall short compared to something like the hexes. Okay, so overall, I'd rate this at a 3.75 out of 5 in technical capabilities. This means that you shouldn't expect an extremely detailed and critical sound, but it is generally good enough for most applications. So, with the value for money of the IEMs, honestly, this impressed me to the point where I would typically reach for it more times than I'd like to admit. I like how I could edit with these and make the sound appealing in most cases, and the fact that it crushes anything cheaper or within this price bracket. It can also compete with the likes of the Legacy 2s and the Hexes in tonality and sometimes even in technical capabilities, where I find them to be ever so often being better or equal in terms of tonality. With this kind of performance in both technicals and tonality, the value for money of the Chu 2s go at a 5 out of 5. I would honestly say that these are as good as it gets on the sub $20 price bracket right now and will generally be good or at least inoffensive to most people that will grab them. In conclusion, the Moondrop Chu 2s fall within the category of S tier subjectively, okay, as a $20 IEM, but it falls to a B tier objectively, where I could comfortably recommend the Chu 2s for most people for gaming, casual listening, and maybe even critical listening, and sure, maybe even the occasional editing. If you're curious why it's a B tier despite all of the good things I said about it, I grade IEMs based on a set of criterions, where I discussed those criterions and my reasoning in I'm Your Guy for Audio Stuff. Links on where to buy the Chu 2s will be in the description. Remember that they are affiliate links, so I do get a kickback for each purchase made from those links without any additional costs to you. So if you'd like to support the channel, please use them as they would help a ton. Do tell me in the comment section if you agree or disagree with what I've observed, from the physical to the musical traits of the Chu 2s. Leave a like, subscribe, share the channel to a friend, and click somewhere right over here if you're interested in another video of mine. YouTube thinks you like this, so I'd say give it a go. That has been the Chu 2. I've been Charles. Bye.